Ladies and gentlemen, my brothers and sisters, at this historical Christ-centered celebration of Ed Schroeder, I cannot be in attendance there, but I want to express the appreciation to Almighty God for the opportunity to meet such a distinguished, dedicated, and loyal servant as Ed Schroeder. While his life was 1930 to 2019, he was an outstanding teacher, prophetic, pastoral, and in many ways influencing people locally and globally. Bob Bertram and Ed Schroeder were the fathers of the Crossings community. This was a Reformation community that influenced my daughter, Dr. Sorrell, now at the University of North Carolina, and myself in thinking through the issues of the day and connecting the gospel of Jesus Christ to the issues of the day, whether in fog or in mud or clear weather. The Crossings community is local and it's also international. I can't express enough appreciation for the fact that Ed Schroeder wrote the signature recommendation that got my daughter, Dr. Sorrell, and myself to Lithuania for that millennial year in the year 2000, where we spent a semester teaching at Christian University in Klaipėda. I was teaching world civilization, and my daughter was teaching various subjects. I want to say at this time, blessings to all of those who are attending this memorable occasion in St. Louis, and my regret is that I cannot be there. Catherine Kleinhaus and Paul Tambaya, Stephen Kuhl, Ruth Hanusa, Richard Neustadt, Sherman Lee, you are blessed, and you have the conversation of fellow Christians in a world that needs the blaze of the gospel more than ever. We are in partnership, even though I am no longer a part of the board. All of us can have our ministry enlarged in God's good time by taking Christ in all of the mire and muck of our day. There are immigrant issues. There are violent issues. There are peace and war issues. I want to say, having attended a graduation of our grandson at the United States Coast Guard Academy, these 240 graduates, I prayed for them as I prayed for my nephew, that they can keep a world at peace. It is not they who really can keep the world at peace, although they are first responders. It's the Lord whom we must ask to keep the peace. And so I said to my grandson, we love the Lord and serve Him. We serve our families, and then in our vocation for Him, it is now a United States Coast Guard officer, but all of us have our vocations. But Crossings community was unique in that it brought pulpit and pew together. For those who are hurting, and there are many all around us, we can bring the healing balm of the gospel. Crossings was is and was a Reformation community. We can have the consolation and the encouragement of those who have gone on before. The library at Crossings community is full of the thoughts of these two founding fathers, blessed by the Lord in distinguished ministry, but servants of all. I remember Ed Schroeder in writing to me with the email that to deal with some of the friends that he had in Lithuania. Ed was privileged, along with his wife, to travel the world in Africa, in Europe, and in Asia. And it was an example of that Matthew 28 example to go to all of the world. So I cannot express enough appreciation and thankfulness to the Lord of our church and us that we were brought together for a time. So I want to extend congratulations to Jerry, who will be preaching and pulling things together, Jerry Burse. I notice he's one of the founding fathers of the Lutheran Church in Papua New Guinea. And so we have distinguished people there, lay people and clergy people. So this was a remarkable experience for me. And at 85, all I can do is give thanks that the Lord brought us together. We're blessed with a new grandchild, a son of Karem and Dr. Krista. And as they will move to Charlotte and new Christ ministry, we go forward to the baptism. Christ is present in baptism, as all of you know, but he's also present in each of our lives. The world is hurting. The world is in anguish. The world is hungry. It is for you, dear listener, to touch people with the heart and the mind of Jesus Christ. Just as this morning, I was talking with people who are not sure where they're going after their lives are over. And I told them about the story of where I could have died April 17th, 2017, when a teenager demolished my car. I was in the jaws of life, and I was battling, in a sense, the devil, and Jesus Christ was in battle. The devil would say, oh, you're going to be a lifelong paraplegic. On the other hand, I would say, Lord, have mercy. Well, that battle of life and death can go on in each of our lives. We have to struggle with addictions today. We have to struggle with diseases. But basically, it's a hunger and a thirst for Jesus Christ. And what I'm saying now, I prayed that it goes out throughout the world. That's what crossings is. It's crossing the people with the cross of Jesus Christ. So those of you who are listening, pray for the courage to act and to speak. I completed a total reading of the Bible, not because I'm more religious than anyone else, but from Genesis to Revelation, you can learn certain things. I have an illustrated Bible I purchased in Publix, the store, and it's amazing what you can see with the images. But we have to be in conversation. We live in a lonely world. 19 nations have nuclear missiles. Our son was a nuclear submarine officer. He doesn't talk about it too much, but he knows as well as some of us that the world indeed is on a precarious precipice, but it's the gospel of Jesus Christ who says, I have overcome the world. And that's what I want to say. Crossings community should be enlarged in every Lutheran church and other faith communities throughout our nation and throughout the world. This is what I'm trying to say, dear friends, dear listeners. Jesus Christ gives us his gift and his promise. And Jerry, who is speaking this Saturday, those who are attending, friends of Ed and Bob and others, Kathy Lessman and others, and the wives of, I have memory issues now, of Ed and of Bob will be there, and the wives and the husbands and others. Support one another in dealing with the issues of how does Jesus Christ come to a world that is hungry and desperate and hurting in this year 2019. Again, I extend blessings to all of you and pray that God will bless crossings again and again. You've been a wonderful, blessed gift to me and my daughter after that monumental year of 2000, and now go on and carry the torch to those who are hungry and thirsty, right at your doorstep, wherever you are. God bless you all.